Good morning, Modern Steaders.
Good morning.
It is a nice brisk -9 degrees out this morning.
I feel like this is deja vu.
I know, but I'm hopeful that this is probably one of the last, or if not the last, -degree weather morning. We're in March. I mean, come on. We gotta be starting to warm up soon. This is kind of crazy.
And your glasses are kind of primer.
Yeah, I do. I got some spots of primer still on. I'll have to clean that off because we are done priming. One of you sent up a thermostat that is connected to the internet so we can check and see what temperature it is up at the off-grid house. And right now it is still 52 degrees up there, so that's encouraging. So when we go up after we do the chores this morning, it's gonna be fairly warm to work in. And the best part is we are all done sheetrocking, mudding, and priming the upstairs. Now we get to work more on the downstairs and start getting the kitchen ready. It's gonna be exciting.
We got some more plans for the upstairs in process, so that's good too.
Right, we ordered a few more things of materials we need for upstairs, so we're trying to keep ahead of the game and order stuff early so we have it so when we're ready to go do the project, it's already on hand. And I feel like right now the earlier you order stuff, you actually save money because prices just keep going up. Chickens don't even want to come out this morning, it's so chilly. They'll come out at some point. Well, it sure does feel like we're right back in the thick of winter with the cold temps this morning. It doesn't feel like spring is right around the corner. It is cold out, man. Brr, it is cold out. It is crazy to think that it's time to start roughing in all of our plumbing now. We gotta finish up our wiring down here. We got plumbing we can do. We gotta rough in the sink drain, the vent in the bathroom, the drain for the sink in the bathroom. All the in-ground plumbing is done. And we gotta get water running. We called the well company the other day, found out what we need to get prepped and ready for them so we can have them come up. They already installed the well. They already drilled the well. If you guys haven't seen that video, I'll put a link to it in the video description down below. We had our well drilled last year. We had to install the pump and all the lines into the house. We just haven't had them come back and install the inside components for running the pump. So we need to do that. Now that it's starting to warm up, I feel comfortable doing that. We weren't able to get our heat hooked up like I was hoping to because we're doing an outdoor wood boiler and the ground froze too quick on us before we could vary our line. So I put getting the inside water hooked up off until it's starting to warm up now. So I don't know, another couple of days or a week or two, we'll get that ready for them and call them and get that installed. And that'll feel nice to have running water here. It'd be fun to start on something different other than mudding and priming and sheetrock. Speaking of mudding and priming, we should go upstairs and see how the primer looks with 2 coats on it and everything being cut in. Wow, what a difference. So much brighter up here. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a couple of spots we gotta fix on the mud, but for the most part, I'm really happy with how the taping and mudding came out. You can't see where the joints are, which is nice. I like the windows. Gina did a good job designing the layout of these windows. Well, it'd be nice to get the window installed today, but I think it's a little bit on the chilly side
A lot on the chilly side.
to cut a hole in the wall today. So I'll have to save the window for a warmer day. We should be having some warm days next week, but we're also gonna be having some rainy days, so maybe between the rain, we can get this one window installed.
It probably was like this temperature when we did those windows though, but
Yeah.
no, it probably was
Wasn't this
warmer.
cold.
No.
Our garage door is made. We're just waiting to find out when that's gonna get delivered. And then the windows for the greenhouse, still gonna be probably like 4 more weeks before we get those. So unfortunately, we won't be getting those in anytime soon. But we do have this one to get installed, and it'll be nice to have this window in. And get it out of the way so we don't damage it.
So we did have plans that, we did have plans, can't make a lot of noise. We did think originally after we decided to add on the greenhouse area that maybe we would be able to use the start seeds this year, but unfortunately that's not gonna happen because there's no windows, and we wanna be able to, once we get the windows, and then we have sheetrock and all that.
Right, so yeah, it
Or whatever
won't
we
happen
want.
this year, but it will in the future. So the other day, while we're waiting for our sheetrock mud to dry, we started rough wiring some of the outlets for the kitchen. We put in a rough plumbing box for our shutoff or our sink, our refrigerator water, I should say. We need to finish running some wiring, get this all wired up. So we've been working on figuring out what we're gonna do with our animals. We should be having a delivery of materials for that, and probably around the same time our windows come in. That's kind of funny, but it'll feel good to have that stuff here. So before we can move up, we're gonna make sure we have buildings for all of our animals. So we've been working on trying to get that all figured out. So. All right, that'll do that run. Now we need to run the power for our three-way hallway switch. A little bit more. That's good. So Gina has a custom shelf that she wants to build in this area. She wants to keep our small appliances in it, like our food dehydrator, toaster oven,
And toaster.
and toaster.
Something you use more often that needs to have space to run.
Right. So this will be getting built later on, but we want to put the outlets in now, so that way the outlets are in, we don't gotta worry about that, and we can just use them in place. So off from the ground up, where do you want your outlets? So 30 inches is the center of the first plug. Okay. And
So
then,
then from there,
alright, so right there is center of the cabinet. That's where we want to put our outlets. So, oh, we gotta figure out the best way to do this now. We did a 2x4 that way. This is when you keep needing little blocks, so you hate to be getting rid of all the little cut-offs. But then on the same hand, we're running out of room. built this cabinet, we just gotta remember to make it work with
Maybe
the
I should
outlets.
write down on these, oh, we covered that. So I'll tell you real quickly my plans for this since it's gonna be a while down the road. So the top shelf, I plan on putting some cookbooks, and then I plan on putting the toaster oven, because we're not going to have a microwave, I'm gonna have that here for like a microwave. And a toaster, and then a dehydrator, because we'll use that less, and it doesn't need to be right there. But I'd like to have a place for it to be out and more usable so that I'll use it more. And then the bottom shelf can just be whatever. Or maybe a drawer. And I originally wanted more shelves, but I only have so much space to work with, and you need to have airflow around your different appliances. So I want to make sure there's enough room to be able to keep them in there without using up and having to put them on the counter and stuff like that.
Staple that up later. So we will go back and get all the stapling, but we're just gonna wait and do more stapling all at once instead of having to redo it after. All right, so now the kitchen area is wired up. We kind of gotta figure out lighting layout and more wiring layout for down here. All right, I know I'm being a little fussy right now, but I'm gonna go around and touch up any of the little areas that just have imperfections or little areas I missed, like right here. I missed the spot, just a dent. I want to skin coat it. And I want to try to remember to put a pencil mark over it, so that way, well, we know we'll need to touch that up with some sealer. Staring at all this white with the sun reflected in, I feel like I'm getting snow blinded. Over here, right here. And then there's something over here I didn't like. Right here. I don't like the very edge of the corner right here and here, and then there's a couple like little air pockets, and then a little, you can see like where the sander hit. I'm just gonna lightly touch up this area right here. I gouged it with the sander, that corner. More just the corners. couple of little gouges that I don't like. Alright, we got the other room all done. I want to go down low in this bedroom now and mark any of the areas that need it. There is a really bad echo in here now that we have it all done. I can see some high spots, but let's check the low area. That sun is such a glare. Some of these areas are so hard to see with that light glare. Nice. Alright, that room is all touched up. Now we just got the living room and hallway to hit. I still can't get over how bright it is in here. We have these 3 little windows and then 1 in each bedroom. A little bit. I mean, a little bit. I'm just gonna be fussy while we're right here looking. That looks really good. Couple of pinholes, and then right here you can see the sander kind of gouged in a little bit. So while we already have it out, we might as well touch it up. Have down low here to do. hit those areas with like probably 400 grit sandpaper. Touch them up with some sealer. And then we're ready for paint. Probably get the paint ordered, and then if we have a day we can't work on the downstairs stuff for some reason, or we're waiting for something, we can get that all painted. Because the upstairs doesn't need to get painted yet, but we could. So I planned on coming up today and just doing some cleaning up, basically some organizing, so we can get these outer walls cleared out with all the stuff we have, so we can start rough wiring the whole downstairs. But it's a beautiful day out, and I'm just thinking we need to get everything out in the greenhouse room, and it's time to get this doorway opened. Ooh, it's gonna be something nice. What a mess! That feels pretty freeing to be able to walk through that doorway. I like it. I'm gonna get this cleaned up, and then we can start transitioning and bringing some stuff over here. We'll have a cleaner work area to work over on that side. And yeah, this is nice. I gotta do quite a bit of cleaning, and cleaning is one of those jobs that doesn't take that much concentration. So I'm gonna download an audiobook, and our friend and fellow YouTuber Justin Rhodes just came out with a book, The Rooted Life. I got a hard copy at the house, but I've just been so busy I haven't had a chance to sit down and read the book cover to cover. Thanks, Justin, for sending us the book, but we have so much going on. But it's also out on an audiobook that just came out in the beginning of March. So I'm gonna buy the audiobook right here, The Rooted Life by Justin Rhodes, and we're gonna listen to it while we clean. We might as well make use out of our time. The book just finished downloading.
Hachette Audio presents The Rooted Life, cultivating health and wholeness through growing your own food. Written by Justin Rhodes.
He wrote the book and he narrated it. So it's kind of pretty interesting. I think he actually had the voice of the audiobook is his own. So I'm gonna do some picking up. I'm gonna listen to his book, and then I will be back. I don't think you guys want to watch me cleaning. Feels so much bigger in here just cleaning up the sides. I like it. Got a lot of the mess moved, and we got our doorway opened up.
That feels nice.
It does. It'll feel so much nicer when the windows are in. We'll have that nice view. And that's where the sun's coming in, is over there. We just moved most of our mess to this room for now. A lot of lumber, that little cut-offs, some full sheets of plywood, but a lot of it's just little stuff. We don't dare get rid of it, but we gotta have a dry place to keep it right now. So this will suffice for that. We had to clean up in here so we can start doing all of our rough wiring on these walls, and then figure out our rough plumbing and get that all done. And then we can start moving on to some more steps.
Closer and closer every time.
We're getting there.